Good morning, everybody. I am in the kitchen. I am fixing to try to de-seed and get the pulp out of a bunch of wild Kentucky persimmons. I don't know if you all know what persimmons are like we have in Kentucky. They're about the size, about like that. And my son had picked these over at my brother's the other day. And these are all pretty good shape. Some of them got mashed just a little bit because they're really, really ripe. But he wanted to know if I could make something out of these persimmons for him. I said, well, I think I could probably make a pie or some bread. So these are really, really sweet. They're full of sugar. These have just turned out really, really good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in this sieve, this kind of colander-like thing, and I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to mash these around because I got to get these seeds out of them. And I don't have a food meal or whatever you want to call a food meal. I used to have one years ago, but I don't have one now. And what I'm going to do is just try to get all the ends off like this, take the end off, and pull these little things off the edge there and just put them in the colander. Make sure there's no pieces of dirt or anything like that on them. And then I'm going to just try to push them through the colander here and get some pulp out of them. So I will be back in a minute when I get this done. Or when I get it full and get it ready to do it, I'll show you how I'm going to do it. I'll be right back. Okay, I just washed my hands good. And I have about half of them in the colander here. And I've picked all of the junk off here. Let me get this up. Well, I'm going through my usual morning. Now I'll have to wash my hands off again. Dropped a piece on the floor. Now I'm going to take my hands. I'm going to try to push all these seeds out. And these are really ripe. And I'm going to try to push this through here. I'm kind of mashing them up. I thought about warming them up a little bit first, because they are cold. They've been in the refrigerator because I put them in the refrigerator last night. Woo! I need to take a silicone spatula, I think, and do that. Too cold for my hands. But you can see the seeds here. Well, let me let Katie in. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm trying to push this through here. And I'm going to try to get out the seeds as I go along. But you can see how bright orange this is. And it's really, and they are so sweet. Really sweet. I don't think I've had persimmons this good since I was a kid. I remember the other day I told you all we used to cut like squirrels in the persimmon trees. This was what we were after. These things right here, they're just sweet as candy. And you know, kids, when I was a little girl, you didn't get a lot of stuff like this. We didn't get a lot of sweetening, as my granny called it. We didn't get a lot of stuff. So if there was something sweet out in nature, we found it. And my son wanted me to save some of these seeds. It says to take the seeds out and dry them off and let them dry for 2 days. And you can keep them in the refrigerator and then plant them in the spring. And you can plant your own persimmon trees. These are wild Kentucky persimmons. These are not tame persimmons. They're wild. The common persimmon. They get about that big around. But they are really, really good and good for you too. This is hard to do. Next time I'm going to make my son come with me and I'm going to say, you're going to do all this stuff here. Because Mama can't do it like she used to. It takes a while to get this stuff through that strainer. Let's see how much I've got. Well, I'm getting some. I'm trying to get a cup at least. I should get a cup out of there, I hope. It would be nice to have a food meal right now because it would really be a lot easier to do than what I'm doing right now. But I don't have one, so. Because they're just, I used to use them to make tomato juice. And you use them for jams and things like that. But I just don't can that much anymore. I don't do that kind of stuff anymore much. Well, I know you all are probably not real interested in watching me push this through here. I'll be back in just a little bit when I get more of it done. Well, I got the first one. That's what I have out of it. Probably about close to a cup right now. And I'll run this through a sieve in a minute and get even more of the stuff out of it. There's I don't know, just edges, scrapes off the seeds and things like that where you rub them around. But anyway, we're going to do something with this persimmon after a while, so you all check back and see what we're doing. I'll talk to you guys later. If you've never got some homemade, homegrown persimmons out in the country, find you some. Find you a good persimmon tree and pick some of them and taste them. They're good to just eat raw if you want to try them that way. But anyway, I'm going to heat this other batch up before I try to run it through the mill. So hopefully we'll get it through there today. I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye. Oh, I meant to tell you all, I did save out some seeds. And I just put them on the paper towel here. And I'm going to try to wipe these off a little bit more in a few minutes. But I'm going to leave them on a paper towel for a couple of days till they dry. And then I'm going to put them in a plastic bag in a glass jar. Or just put them in a glass jar and seal them up and save them till next spring and you can plant them. So, we'll see what happens. I'll talk to you guys later.